You didn't just stumble across this video. This is your confirmation. God handpicked you for wealth, not just for survival, not just for comfort, but for abundance beyond imagination. And what's coming next will shift everything in your life if you're ready to receive it. There's a moment in every chosen one's life when everything suddenly feels different. It's like the energy around you changes. People start acting strange. Opportunities begin to close, or so it seems, and life begins testing you harder than ever before. But that's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your divine moment. A moment God designed to prepare you, stretch you, and then pour into you what no eye has seen and no ear has heard. Right now, you might be sitting in a place that looks like lack. You may be wondering why you've had to go through so much, why doors haven't opened yet, or why you've been overlooked, rejected, or misunderstood. But the truth is, the process was never meant to break you. It was meant to shape you. Because God never blesses a version of you that isn't ready. And make no mistake, what's coming is too big for the old version of you to carry. You've been chosen, not just for survival, but for wealth. Not just physical, but spiritual, emotional, relational, financial. This isn't just about money. It's about divine positioning. God is about to align people, places, and situations to usher you into your season of overflow. But first, He had to make sure your heart was pure, your motives were right, and your foundation could hold the weight of what He's about to release. You've been walking through tests you didn't even realize were tests. Every no, every delay, every closed door. It was heaven's way of saying, "Hold on, I'm preparing the best." And now something is shifting in your atmosphere. If you've been feeling strange lately, more isolated, more spiritually sensitive, more focused on your inner world, that's not random. That's alignment. God is tuning your frequency to the frequency of blessing. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Every struggle, every betrayal, every lonely night, it was a setup for something greater. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. Because the wealth coming your way needs a vessel that can handle it, a mind that won't idolize it, and a spirit that knows where it came from. And here's what most people miss. Before God releases abundance, He often strips away distractions. Some of the people who walked away, that was divine removal. Some of the things that didn't work out, that was God's protection. You were never rejected, you were redirected. And that redirection is leading you straight into your divine moment. You may not see it yet, but heaven is already moving on your behalf. Angels have been assigned, resources have been released, and now God is simply waiting for your alignment. Your full, undistracted, unwavering faith. Because when your spirit aligns with your calling, wealth can't help but follow. It's a spiritual law. Seek first the kingdom, and everything else, everything will be added unto you. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to doubt your worth or replay old failures. This is the moment to rise, to step into your authority, to walk as if the blessing is already yours. Because in the Spirit, it is. God doesn't give vague promises. He gives divine instruction. And you've been following it, whether you realize it or not. The pull you feel in your soul, that inner restlessness, that divine dissatisfaction with the ordinary, that's God calling you higher. You weren't made for mediocre. You were crafted in purpose, by purpose for a purpose. And wealth is part of that plan, not just for your benefit, but for what you'll do with it, who you'll bless, what you'll build, how you'll shift the atmosphere wherever you go. You've passed tests no one saw. You've cried prayers no one heard. And you've kept going when you had every reason to give up. That resilience wasn't in vain. Heaven took notes. God saw every sacrifice, every seed planted, every act of obedience when no one was watching. And He's about to reward you publicly for what you endured privately. You're not waiting for a miracle. You are walking into it. Now hear this clearly. This moment isn't about hype. It's about recognition. It's about spiritual maturity. God's wealth requires a mindset shift. because you can't carry kingdom resources with a poverty mentality. The old stories you've told yourself about money, about worth, about what you deserve, those have to go. They don't belong in your new season. This is your moment to claim the blessing, to activate your faith, and to take aligned action. Not desperate striving, but strategic movement guided by divine wisdom. God is not going to drop millions into your lap while you sit and wait. He will open doors, align people, give visions, and then watch how you move. This is co-creation. God gave you the calling, and now He's waiting to see if you'll partner with Him for the overflow. Because you were never meant to hustle endlessly. You were meant to flow, to trust, to align, to believe so deeply that your energy alone attracts the resources you need. And when you walk in that divine flow, everything starts shifting. Conversations change. People notice. Opportunities multiply. It's not magic. It's faith in motion. It's heaven backing every move you make because your heart is in sync with God's vision. If you've ever felt like the black sheep, the outsider, the one who sees things differently, that's not a flaw. That's your calling speaking. You weren't meant to fit into broken systems. You were meant to rebuild them, to redefine what wealth looks like, to prove that you can love God, walk in purpose, and still live in abundance without guilt, fear, or apology. It's time to reclaim your identity as royalty. You are not broke. You are not forgotten. You are not average. You are God's chosen vessel to carry something powerful into this world, and it includes wealth. Wealth with purpose. Wealth with vision. Wealth that breaks generational curses and builds generational blessings. You see, the enemy never attacks anything that isn't a threat. The reason your finances have been under pressure, the reason opportunities seem to dry up right when you got serious about your purpose, the reason you've been feeling spiritually drained, it's all because hell knows your wealth will shake the atmosphere. Your success is a threat to darkness, because when a chosen one rises, they don't just rise for themselves, they elevate everything connected to them. You've been through too much to settle for less. You've endured the storm. You've been refined in the fire. And now, the anointing that's on your life is attracting divine abundance. It's already in motion. The question is, will you recognize it when it shows up? Too many chosen ones miss their blessing because it doesn't look like what they expected. But this time, God is doing it differently. The door may come through someone unexpected. The opportunity may be disguised as a risk. The wealth may not look like a lottery. It might look like a divine idea, a vision, a moment of clarity that shifts everything. That's why this message is being spoken into your spirit right now, to prepare your perception, to open your spiritual eyes, because when it comes, it's coming fast, and you don't have time to second guess. You'll need to move with holy confidence. You'll need to act like you already know who you are. God didn't choose you randomly. He knew the pain would humble you. He knew the rejection would train your discernment. He knew the waiting would build your character. Every delay was a divine classroom. And now, graduation day is near. You're not entering a season. You're entering a new dimension. A dimension where things happen faster because you're in alignment. A dimension where the right people find you because your energy is no longer diluted by fear. A dimension where money doesn't stress you, it obeys you. Because when you operate from divine calling, resources are commanded to follow. It's no longer about chasing. It's about attracting what already belongs to you in the spirit. Listen closely. The financial shift you've been praying for isn't just about hustle. It's about obedience. Sometimes the wealth comes through a phone call you're afraid to make. Sometimes it's a job you haven't applied for because you feel unqualified. Sometimes it's a business idea you've been sitting on because fear convinced you it was too late. It's not too late. It's right on time. And the moment you act in faith, heaven starts accelerating everything around you. You'll begin to see confirmation in ways that will blow your mind. Random encounters, sudden inspiration, people offering help without you asking, money showing up where you least expect it. That's not coincidence. That's divine orchestration. And it's happening because you're finally ready to carry the weight of wealth without losing your soul. God had to make sure you wouldn't worship the blessing more than the one who gave it. That's why the preparation was painful. That's why he stripped away everything that would have distracted you from his voice. Because now, when he pours it out, you'll use it for impact, not ego. You'll build, not boast. You'll give, not just consume. And understand this. Being chosen for wealth doesn't mean it'll come easy. It means it'll come with divine backing. You'll still have to show up, still have to act, still have to stretch. But you'll notice doors opening that were locked before. You'll see connections forming that make no logical sense. You'll realize you're walking in favor, and favor is worth more than $1 million. You may not feel ready. You may look at your bank account and feel fear rise up. But remember, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Your qualifications are spiritual. Your credentials are in heaven. And when God says it's your time, there is no devil in hell, no system on earth, no voice in your past that can stop it. Now is the time to expand your vision. What if it actually works? What if the breakthrough you've been praying for is just on the other side of one bold step? What if the wealth was never being withheld, it was just being timed? Chosen one, wealth is not coming to you so you can escape life. It's coming to you because you're meant to influence life. You're meant to fund missions, to create systems that uplift others, to be the answer to someone else's prayer. That's why the process was so deep, because the purpose is so big. And the moment you stop seeing wealth as something selfish and start seeing it as something sacred, everything begins to flow. Because God funds purpose, He blesses alignment, and He multiplies what you're willing to steward. You've spent too long waiting for permission, waiting to feel worthy, waiting for everything to line up perfectly. But God is saying, move now, with what you have. From where you are, He'll meet you in motion. You don't need all the answers. You just need enough faith to say yes. There is someone watching this right now who has a divine assignment attached to their wealth. You already know it. You feel it. You've dreamed of it. And God is saying this is your confirmation. Stop playing small. Stop dimming your light. Stop shrinking your desires to match your fears. You were made for more, and this is your divine moment to rise. Don't worry about who doesn't believe in you. Don't waste time explaining your calling. Just walk. Just build. Just move. Because when the fruit starts showing, when the favor starts flowing, when the millions start multiplying, no one will be able to deny that it was God all along. You've been chosen for this wealth because God can trust you with it. He's seen your heart. He's watched you give even when you barely had enough. He's heard your prayers in secret. He's seen you honor Him when it would have been easier to give up. And that kind of faith doesn't go unnoticed in heaven. That kind of faith activates angelic movement. That kind of faith is the foundation for abundance that lasts. And now, it's time. Time to receive what's already yours in the Spirit. Time to stop thinking like the old version of you. Time to start operating from your higher self, your kingdom identity. Because your wealth isn't just in what's coming, it's in who you're becoming. You're becoming bolder, sharper, more focused. You're shedding old habits, releasing limited mindsets, and stepping into full awareness of your divine assignment. And with that awareness comes responsibility. You must guard your energy. You must watch your thoughts. You must speak life even when circumstances try to lie to you. Because your words are now shaping your wealth. Your inner world is creating your outer reality. That's why the distractions have been loud lately. That's why certain people started falling away. That's why you've been feeling this sense of urgency in your spirit. It's because your spirit knows this isn't just another season. It's a divine activation. This is your wealth awakening. And you can't afford to sleep through it. The enemy will try to keep you stuck in cycles of doubt. He'll try to use old wounds to cloud your vision. But you are not who you used to be. You've outgrown the chains. You've broken the patterns. You've been recalibrated by heaven for a higher level. And the wealth that's coming is simply a reflection of that upgrade. This is why certain doors had to close. Because had you walked into this moment with an old mindset, you would have self-sabotaged the blessing. But now, you understand the assignment. You understand that your wealth isn't just about income. It's about impact. It's about legacy. It's about being a light in dark places. And here's what's wild. You won't even have to chase the money. You'll just start aligning with opportunities that are divinely orchestrated. You'll be in the right room, the right conversation, the right moment. You'll look back and realize that every no was a setup for a better yes. Every detour was divine. Every delay had purpose, because God has been working behind the scenes, setting the table for your breakthrough. Now you're going to eat in the presence of every voice that doubted you, not out of revenge, but as a testimony, as proof that when God puts his hand on someone, nothing can stop the overflow. They may not have believed in your potential, but God did. They may have overlooked you, but heaven didn't. And now, they'll witness what happens when a chosen one walks in alignment with divine timing. But hear this, the money is not the mission. It's a tool. It's a key. It's a weapon in the hands of the righteous. And God is about to trust you with it because he knows it won't own you. You'll master it. You won't idolize it. You'll use it to uplift others. So prepare your life for the shift. Start organizing. Start planning. Start declaring. Start walking like the millions are already on the way, because in the spirit they are. Your posture of expectation will determine the speed of manifestation. Speak it out loud. I am chosen for wealth. I am ready to receive. I am in alignment with God's plan for my life. Say it until your soul believes it. Say it until the atmosphere around you shifts. Say it until everything that's not aligned with your future starts falling away. Because here's the truth. Wealth is spiritual before it's material. It's about expansion. It's about power to fulfill purpose. And when a chosen one gets wealth, they don't just elevate themselves. They become a channel, a blessing magnet, a force of light and liberation. And let's be real, your journey has cost you. You didn't just arrive at this place. You sacrificed. You surrendered. You grew through the pain. You healed things no one even knows about. You kept showing up when everything inside you said to quit. That level of spiritual maturity has positioned you for this release. And the release will be undeniable. You'll notice it in your confidence, in the way you carry yourself, in how you speak about the future. No more shrinking. No more I hope or maybe. Now it's I know. Now it's I receive. Now it's I was built for this. You'll begin attracting people who are also walking in power. You'll be surrounded by visionaries, by dreamers, by kingdom builders who remind you of who you are. Because wealth loves clarity. It flows where purpose is present. It manifests where belief is unshakable. And yes, there will be moments of testing. Even in abundance, you'll have to stay anchored. But this time, you'll be ready. Because your roots are deeper, your faith is stronger, and your assignment is clearer. No more begging. No more waiting for someone to give you a chance. You are the chance. You are the opportunity. You are the move of God someone else has been praying for. You are walking into a divine moment that will change everything. The money, the influence, the platforms, it's all being aligned for your impact. Because when God chooses someone for wealth, he does it for kingdom expansion. He does it so you can fund the dreams of others, so you can be a safe space for those who had no voice, so you can rewrite the narrative in your family line. You are the curse breaker, the generational transition, the blueprint shifter, and this is only the beginning. You're about to experience what it feels like when heaven opens a floodgate over your life. Not just a drip, not a small stream, but a flood, an overflow so massive, so undeniable, that it forces you to expand your capacity to receive. This next blessing won't fit inside the old version of you. You're going to have to think bigger, believe deeper, and move faster. But here's the key. It's not just about what you get. It's about who you become in the process. You'll become someone who commands the atmosphere, someone whose presence carries authority, someone who walks into a room and the energy shifts, not because of ego, but because of alignment. Because when you walk with divine purpose, wealth follows you, favor follows you, opportunities chase you down because you're no longer chasing, you're attracting. It's time to break free from the lie that you have to struggle to be spiritual, that you have to choose between holiness and prosperity. That lie has kept too many chosen ones in lack, afraid to embrace the abundance that's rightfully theirs. But God is not limited. He is not broke, and He didn't design you for scarcity. He designed you for overflow. You reflect His glory when you walk in your full inheritance. So yes, claim the wealth. Own it. Speak it. Build with it. Heal with it. Serve with it. The more you accept your role as a wealthy vessel, the more lives you'll transform, not just through what you say, but through what you embody. People are watching you to see what it looks like when someone who's truly aligned with God becomes successful without selling their soul. You're the blueprint. And let's talk about strategy, because wealth isn't just dropped into your lap. It flows to those who are prepared, those who are positioned. So now is the time to start creating. That business idea, launch it. That project you've been procrastinating on, start it. That vision you've been afraid to pursue because of what ifs, move on it, because the provision is connected to the vision, but only once you move. God is waiting for you to activate what He already placed inside you. He's not going to force it. He's not going to beg you. He's going to whisper. He's going to nudge. And when you say yes, the floodgates will follow. The clients, the contracts, the unexpected divine appointments, they're all part of the puzzle that begins to unfold once you say, I'm ready. And being ready isn't about being perfect. It's about being obedient, being willing, being bold enough to move forward even when it feels uncertain. Because the truth is, your wealth will rarely come in a way that feels comfortable. It will stretch you. It will require you to level up. It will ask you to grow into someone new. And that's not punishment, that's preparation. You don't need to chase a trend. You don't need to copy someone else. You just need to tap into what God already gave you. Your anointing, your story, your unique ability to connect. That's your power. That's what's going to open doors. That's what makes you unstoppable, because nobody can replicate you. This is why you had to be hidden for a season. Why things didn't pop off the moment you thought they would. God was refining your character, preparing your soil, because if He had given you the millions before the mindset, it would have crushed you. But now, you're ready. You've been seasoned. You've been stretched. You know how to discern what's for you and what's a distraction. And now that you've come into alignment, doors are about to open that you didn't even knock on. People will start recommending you in rooms you've never entered. There will be favor you didn't ask for, invitations that feel surreal. And it won't be luck. It'll be legacy. It'll be the harvest from the seeds you planted in silence. But listen closely. When it starts to happen, stay grounded. Don't let the elevation distance you from the one who elevated you. Remember who gave you the gift. Remember the nights you cried and prayed for this. Keep your heart pure, your motives clean, and your vision kingdom-focused. Because the quickest way to multiply your wealth is to honor the one who gave it. Keep sowing, keep serving, keep giving, not out of obligation, but out of revelation. Because chosen ones understand that giving doesn't reduce you, it multiplies you. You are a channel, not a container. The more you pour, the more God will pour into you. And don't let imposter syndrome creep in when things start getting big. You belong in those rooms. You belong in that influence. You belong in that new tax bracket. This isn't arrogance, it's agreement. Agreement with the divine truth that you are royalty. You are an heir. You are seated in heavenly places. And yes, there will be people who don't understand, who try to downplay what's happening. We'll say, you've changed. But let them talk. Let them wonder. Because you did change. You evolved. You leveled up. You honored the process, and now you're walking in the promise. Let your life preach the sermon. Let your results speak for themselves. You didn't come this far to stop now. You didn't fight all those battles just to live average. You were built for greatness, built for influence, built for overflow. And this wealth is just the beginning, because once you receive it, you'll realize it was never about the money. It was about becoming who God called you to be. So rise up, take your position. The earth is groaning for the manifestation of the sons and daughters of God. The world is waiting for you. Yes, you, to show up fully. And now is your moment. There's a reason the enemy fought you so hard in previous seasons. It wasn't because of where you were. It was because of where you were going. The warfare wasn't a reflection of your weakness. It was confirmation of your assignment. Every attack, every delay, every moment of confusion was designed to wear you down before the blessing arrived. But you made it. And now you're stepping into what the enemy hoped you'd give up on. You survived spiritual attacks that would have crushed someone else. You kept your faith when the facts looked impossible. And now heaven is responding to your endurance. This is the part where everything begins to make sense, where the tears you cried in private turn into joy you can't contain, where the promises you've been holding on to start manifesting one by one. The truth is, chosen ones walk a lonely path for a reason. Not everyone was meant to go where you're going, and not everyone was meant to carry what you carry. That's why you couldn't fit into their box. That's why certain doors didn't open, because they weren't your doors. Your journey has been customized by God, and now you're stepping into a reward that's just as custom-made. Wealth is coming to you in a form that reflects your purpose. It's not random. It's not for show. It's designed to fuel your destiny. You're not just getting a financial breakthrough. You're receiving divine resources, people, platforms, connections, influence, all of it orchestrated for one reason: to fulfill your divine assignment. There will be moments ahead where things feel surreal, where you'll look around and wonder, is this really my life? And the answer will be yes, not because you manipulated anything, but because you aligned, because you obeyed when it was hard. You moved when it made no sense. You trusted when you had no evidence. That's why this moment is yours. You're not just about to receive wealth. You're about to become wealth, a walking manifestation of divine prosperity. Every step you take is going to carry weight. Every word you speak is going to plant seeds. Every move you make will open new doors, not just for you, but for generations after you. Because chosen ones don't build for the moment, they build for legacy. You're breaking generational curses with your obedience. You're healing your bloodline with your courage. You're setting a new standard that says, lack ends with me. Struggle ends with me. Silence ends with me. From this point forward, we walk in power, purpose, and overflow. You'll start to notice divine confirmation in your daily life. Small signs at first. A stranger repeating a phrase you just prayed about. A door opening that seemed sealed shut. A dream giving you clarity about your next step. This is not coincidence. It's alignment. It's heaven whispering, keep going. You're on the right track. But don't get comfortable. Don't stop now. This isn't the time to coast. This is the time to expand. Take the vision God gave you and multiply it. That small idea. Scale it. That local impact. Make it global. That message you've been carrying. Amplify it. The world is finally ready for what you've been preparing behind the scenes. God is giving you the green light, the divine go-ahead. And with it comes acceleration. What would have taken years will take months. What seems stuck will start moving. The divine flow is picking up speed. Can you feel it? Can you sense the shift in the atmosphere? But remember, the blessing comes with responsibility. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for favor. Don't downplay your glow. This is your moment to stand tall and be exactly who God created you to be. A beacon of hope, a vessel of light, and a distributor of abundance. This wealth isn't just for you to enjoy. It's for you to employ. Put it to work. Use it to build. Use it to free others. Use it to speak truth where lies once ruled. You are being trusted with a kingdom assignment, and it begins with knowing who you are. Start walking like it. Start talking like it. Start living like it. The wait is over. The preparation season is complete. Now is the time for manifestation. Every divine download you've received, it's time to act on it. That vision board you've been staring at, it's about to become your reality. That journal full of dreams and declarations, you're about to live it out loud. Because God doesn't tease, He delivers. And He's delivering on His promise to you. There's a divine reason you're hearing this message right now. It's not just a video. It's a spiritual activation. Something is being unlocked inside you as you listen. You're being reminded of your power, your identity, your calling. And the more you align with that, the faster the abundance flows. So start moving like it's already done. Make decisions from your future self. Speak from your blessed self. Walk in rooms like the wealth is already wired to your name, because spiritually it is. The angels have already dispatched the resources. The paperwork in heaven is already stamped. Now it's your turn to claim it in the natural. You're not here by accident. This message didn't just randomly show up. This is divine orchestration. Heaven knew exactly when your spirit would be ready to receive this. That's why the timing feels so perfect, because it is. Everything you've gone through has led to this. The pain, the loneliness, the confusion. It was all a part of your divine curriculum. You've graduated from the struggle, and now you're entering into your reward. God is not just blessing you financially. He's elevating you mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Because true wealth is more than just money. It's clarity. It's peace. It's access. It's alignment. And He's giving it to you all at once. No more one area being blessed while another suffers. This is the season of full alignment. A divine balance is coming to your life like never before. You're going to look back at this moment as the divine turning point. The moment the heavens opened and everything shifted. The day the no's became yes, and the not yets turned into now. It won't be subtle either. This shift is going to be loud. People are going to see the hand of God all over you. They'll try to figure out what you did, but they'll never understand what you endured. Because this favor was earned in the fire. It was built in silence. It was fought for in prayer. And now it's being unveiled, not for their approval, but for God's glory. The ones who doubted you will have no choice but to witness your rise. But don't get distracted by proving anything. Stay focused, because this wealth isn't just about showing people what you have. It's about doing what God called you to do. Your assignment just leveled up, and with it comes divine support. Kingdom helpers are being sent to you right now. People who carry what you lack. People who believe in the vision God gave you, even when they don't fully understand it. People who pray with you, build with you, protect your name when you're not in the room. That's how you'll know it's God, because these people won't come with agendas. They'll come with alignment. You've already outgrown the spaces that can't hold your next season. That's why it felt like everything was falling apart. But in reality, it was falling into place. The old version of you had to die so the divine version could rise. You had to lose your appetite for mediocrity. You had to get fed up with lack. You had to disconnect from people who loved your wounds but hated your healing. Because when you're chosen, comfort becomes the enemy of your calling. You can't stay where it's safe and expect to be used for something supernatural. God had to stir the nest so you'd fly. And now that you've taken the leap, heaven is backing your every step. Don't second guess it. Don't shrink. Don't apologize. You're not crazy. You're called. You've been feeling something big is coming, and you're right. You've sensed the shift. You've felt the acceleration. That's not imagination. That's revelation. Your spirit is already experiencing what your eyes haven't yet seen. You're in prophetic motion. And soon, your reality will catch up with what your spirit already knows. So what do you do now? You prepare. You act like the blessing is already here. You speak like you're already funded. You walk like the deal is already signed. Because in the realm of faith, your belief is the key that unlocks the doors. The more you align, the faster the blessing arrives. It's already been dispatched. It just needs a vessel to land in. And that vessel is you. Start moving differently. Start managing your time like a CEO. Start treating your ideas like divine downloads. Because they are. The vision you carry is sacred. Don't throw it to people who won't value it. Protect it. Nurture it. Invest in it. Because it's the seed of something world-changing. The enemy wants you distracted because he knows focus brings favor. He wants you stuck in overthinking, paralyzed by fear. But not this time. This time, you move. Even if you're scared, even if you don't have all the pieces, you move because heaven moves with you. This is a supernatural walk, and it requires supernatural obedience. And don't worry about how it's all going to work out. That's not your job. Your job is to believe, to take the step, to keep the faith. God didn't bring you this far just to abandon you now. He's too invested in your outcome, too faithful to fail. What He started in you, He will finish. This wealth is not a maybe, it's a promise. And not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. Positioned by pain, positioned by obedience, positioned by growth. You've done the inner work. Now comes the outer reward. This is your divine moment. Everything you've endured was preparation for what you're about to hold. And it's going to be more than you imagined, bigger than what you prayed for. Overflowing, abundant, pressed down and shaken together. Not just for your house, but for every hand you touch. That's why God can trust you with it. Because you understand that true wealth is meant to flow, not just sit. So get ready, not in fear, but in faith. Clear the space, make the room, write the vision, take the step, because you're not waiting anymore, you're walking in it. There comes a time when God no longer whispers His promises, He demonstrates them. And this is that time for you. You've waited, you've warred, you've worshipped through storms. Now comes the manifestation. This isn't hype. This isn't wishful thinking. This is divine confirmation. Everything around you is about to testify that God is faithful. Your life will be the proof. You're about to live in rooms that once rejected you, sign deals that once seemed impossible, be honored by people who once overlooked you. But even more than that, you're going to feel a peace that money can't buy. Because when God blesses, He doesn't just add wealth. He adds no sorrow with it. This will be different. It won't cost your soul. It won't drain your joy. It won't require you to compromise who you are. Because this time, God is the one funding it. God is the one building it. God is the one opening the doors. And when He opens a door, no man can shut it. They may try to slow it. They may try to doubt it. But they can't stop it. Because what God has spoken over your life is sealed, not by contracts, not by people's approval, but by heaven's decree. And it's okay if some people don't understand it. It's okay if they question how you went from overlook to overflow. Let them wonder. You don't need to explain what God is doing. You just need to walk in it. Because when the blessings hit, they'll speak for themselves. Your testimony will be undeniable, not because of what you say, but because of what they see. So get used to the new. Get comfortable being celebrated. Don't shrink when the spotlight hits. You've been hidden long enough. And while you were hidden, God was developing you. He was protecting your anointing, building your character, strengthening your discernment, so that when the wealth showed up, you wouldn't self-destruct. And now, it's all coming full circle. The pain, it had purpose. The delay, it was divine. The betrayal, it was redirection. The confusion, it was the cocoon before the breakthrough. Nothing was wasted. Not a tear. Not a sleepless night. Not a prayer. Heaven recorded it all. And now the repayment is coming. But don't mistake this blessing as the finish line. It's just the launch pad. Because with this level of wealth comes responsibility. God is trusting you to steward it, to multiply it, to build with it, to bless others with it, to fund kingdom projects, to elevate communities, to be a vessel that wealth flows through, not just to. That's why He chose you. Not just because you're capable, but because you're willing. Willing to serve, willing to obey, willing to move in silence, willing to glorify God with the increase. That's what separates you. That's why you're in the 1%. Because while others chase wealth, you chased God. And now the wealth is chasing you. So step into this moment with boldness. This isn't the time to question if you're ready. You are. This isn't the time to wait for someone else to confirm it. God already did. The tables are turning. A shift is happening. A blessing is manifesting. Right now, not tomorrow, not in some distant future. Now, speak it, declare it, walk like it, think like it, plan like it, because the version of you that lacked, they no longer exist. You've stepped into divine identity. You've tapped into divine inheritance. You've activated divine wealth. It's yours, not because you begged for it, but because God ordained it. This is your divine moment, and no one can take it away. They didn't give it to you, so they can't stop it. The wealth, the resources, the connections, they're aligning behind the scenes. Angels are literally on assignment, making sure the right people show up, the right doors open, the right phone call comes through. You'll start seeing divine coincidences, except they're not coincidences at all. They're confirmations, tiny breadcrumbs from heaven, letting you know you're on the right path. Lean into them. Listen closely. Follow the nudges. Your spirit will know. Because this isn't just natural, it's supernatural. And now that you've been chosen, elevated, and released, the world better get ready. Because the real you is stepping out. Not the watered-down version. Not the one that plays small, but the royal, radiant, anointed you. The version God has been waiting to reveal. The version the enemy tried so hard to bury. The version your future needs. So breathe. Smile. Let go of the fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the old narratives that said you weren't enough. You are more than enough. You're qualified. You're equipped. You're called. And you're about to be compensated for every ounce of pain, every seed of faith, every act of obedience. Your life is about to look like the favor of God, and people will ask how. They'll ask why, but you'll just smile because you'll know it wasn't you. It was God, His plan, His timing, His glory, and all you did was trust Him. And now the trust turns into treasure. The faith turns into fulfillment. The warfare turns into wealth, not just in your bank account, but in your soul, your relationships, your body, your legacy. This is what you were born for. This is what you suffered for. This is what you waited for. And now, it's here.